Real Estate Talk on Smart Talk 1580.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Real Estate Talk. I'm your host, Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We are live this chilly Saturday morning, broadcasting from the Albany studios of KGAL KGAL Radio. We are at the old library building, the home of Silver Falls Dermatology. Had to scrape the ice off my window the last 3 days in a row. And I got to tell you, before I moved to Oregon back in 2001, I was active duty Navy. My family and I were stationed in Hawaii. And every morning when I'm scraping the ice off of my car window, I keep thinking back to the fact that I didn't have to scrape the ice off my window when I lived in Hawaii. So, boy, today I was kind of wishing I was back there. But we're here, and we're talking about real estate. Before we start the show, let me ask you a question. Are you hungry? It's almost lunchtime. If you're hungry, you want to taste on us. That's a $10 Quiznos gift card for the first person this hour to email dave@kgal.com and mention Taste on Us. And that gift certificate is good for the Albany Quiznos store. Today is all about listener questions. I've got questions on pricing strategies, buying, fixing, and renting, whether or not now is the time to buy, and a little bit about rent-to-own or lease options. And we'll cover those in our next segment. But before that, let's do, as we always do, our real estate showcase. 2 homes in the showcase today. The first one is a brand new listing in Lebanon at 1048 Keys Street. Keys Street is right there off Stoltz Hill Road. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's in really nice condition. It's got newer carpet. The paint colors are very nice and warm and inviting inside, fairly fresh. 1,136 square feet. That's spread throughout a comfy living room, kind of a great room setup with a dining area, then right into the island kitchen. Vinyl sliding back door into a nicely sized, it's a 0.12 acre lot, fully fenced backyard. This is just a really nice deal. Again, it's a fairly simple, straightforward, kind of a first-time home builder or first-time home buyer kind of a home. It's a great deal. Lebanon, the market is just really screaming hot right now, especially in this particular price range. This home is priced at $135,000 even. So it's a nice neighborhood, it's a nice home, and it's a nice price. That's 1048 Key Street in Lebanon. My second showcase listing is in Spring Meadow in Southwest Albany. This home's 2,780 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. Very popular two-story floor plan built in 2005 by Cornerstone Builders. And if you know what's about 8 different builders built in the Spring Meadow, Brookfield area, this is actually really a very good high-quality builder, Cornerstone Builders. As you walk in the front door, there's a beautiful staircase heading upstairs. You head down the main hall, then to your right, there's a formal living room with a gas fireplace, also a formal dining room, and then either down the hallway or through the pocket door from the dining room, you enter into a kitchen, which is wide open. Lots of storage, lots of counter space, beautiful alder cabinetry with a brushed nickel hardware. All the appliances are stainless steel. The range is gas. There adjacent to the kitchen is a large family room. Great place to watch TV or entertain. And if you go back down the main hall on the right-hand side, there is an office with French doors. Now, this particular family is using it right now as a guest room, but there's no closet. The design was for it to be an office. All 4 of the bedrooms are upstairs, and that includes a very large master suite with dual sinks, a soaker tub, and a very spacious walk-in master closet. Also, the utility room is upstairs, which is a very nice feature in this home. Nicely built, well-maintained home. It's in competition with not a lot of other houses in Spring Meadow right now. The inventory for houses in this particular niche, the 2,500 4-bedroom plus square foot, 2,500 plus 4-bedroom homes, not a lot active on the market. Most of them are actually under contract. So, jump on this one fast. The price, $254,900, and that's 1994 Bobcat Avenue Southwest in Albany. That's the real estate showcase for this Gosh, it's the 12th day of January, 2013. If you want more information about any of our participating showcase homes, send me an email at realestatetalk@kgal.com. If you have a question, send that in by email too, same address, or you can visit our Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. This morning, one of the first things I do in the mornings when I have the radio show is I compile the statistics for the week. I go into the multiple listing system and I do 3 searches. I do one search for all of the current active listings in Albany, Lebanon, and Corvallis. I do another search for those that are pending or contingent sales or right of refusal sales. And I do another search for those that have closed in the previous 90 days. I put all those statistics together, and I use a really cool little program on my desktop called Jing, which is from a company called TechSmith. And it allows me to take a picture from whatever I have on my desktop. And I take that picture and I posted it to the Facebook fan page. So the statistics that you'll hear in the market update today, or that you could otherwise find on the KGAL website, that's kgal.com/Real Estate Talk, are available on the Facebook Real Estate Talk fan page. So check out the numbers there. Actually, some really interesting numbers. I even put an arrow in one particular price category in Corvallis. There are 0 months of inventory. There's not a single active listing in that particular price category on the market right now. So there's an opportunity. Anyway, getting to that Facebook fan page is easy. It's facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. Go there, check it out. I love if you want to participate, ask your questions there, get discussion starting there. The more participation we can get on that particular page, frankly, I think the happier I will be. So join us there. If you're not currently working with a real estate professional and you would like a market analysis done on a property, and that's whether you're looking to buy or sell, the information that you get from a realtor providing you market analysis is absolutely very, very helpful in you making a good decision. And I would be happy to do that for you at absolutely no obligation. Send that address to me at realestatetalk@kgal.com, and I'll put together the analysis for you. But certainly I'd like to be on your team. And if you want an agent that's 100% on your side, that is my commitment to all my clients. I only represent one client in any real estate negotiation. So I work with buyers, I work with sellers, but again, only one at a time in any given transaction. So give me a call, send me an email today. And finally, this segment, if you are considering starting the home buying process, I urge you to contact Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services at www.w-nhs.org and take their class. It is worth it. They actually have a number of classes. They have an Am I Ready to Buy class, as well as the Home Buyer Ed class. Now, the Home Buyer Education class does have a $45 tuition fee, and that is per household. So if a couple wanted to go, or a mom and dad and the kids wanted to go, one fee covers everybody. You get one set of materials. For you, my faithful radio listeners, as long as you're not working with another real estate professional and you want to take that class, just email me here. Let me know the date you've signed up for, and I'll pay that course fee. I do believe in the class just that much. So with all that said, it's time for a break. Again, today, listener questions. Got a couple of good topics for you. I'm Dave Pautsch, RE/MAX Integrity. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
It's all happening in downtown Albany.
One of the most comfortable pubs and excellent eateries around is Cappy's Brew House. Check out the new Beer Cave with quality brews from all over the world. A great selection of hard-to-find beers, priced just right. Bottles to go or drink them here at Cappy's Brew House, 211 West 1st.
Albany Health and Herbs is now Health and Herbs, your complete health and herb source, and in their new spacious location at 620 Queen Avenue Southwest in Albany, right behind Albany Cabinets off Queen and Pacific. Log on to healthherbs.com. Call 541-791-8400. Health and Herbs, free qualified health consultants.
Maplewood Avenue Vintage Market is a smaller scale antique, collectible, shabby chic market offering high quality, gently used merchandise at affordable prices. Everyone can find something at Maplewood Avenue. Open now at 234 Southwest Ellsworth next to Shutterbug.
It's all happening in downtown Albany.
This business wouldn't exist if it weren't for one very fussy dog.
I'm Greg Anestis.
I'm Bob Smith.
And this is
Why Didn't I Think of That?
Coming up, how one picky puppy helped two newlyweds sniff out $1 million business opportunity. The Lebanon Chamber of Commerce also serves as a Lebanon Visitor Center. That means in addition to serving our chamber members, our staff works hard to actively recruit and nurture area events in an effort to boost Lebanon's tourism industry. In our office on Park Street, you'll find brochures highlighting the many attractions in Oregon and East Lynn County. We've also got maps of Lebanon, Lynn County, and the state. The Lebanon Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center is open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's our pleasure to greet and welcome new citizens and visitors to our wonderful community.
Jennifer Melton and Brendan Johnson were still newlyweds when they decided to adopt.
A dog, that is.
You're right.
They found Samantha at an animal shelter, not realizing she would change their lives forever.
Samantha had a sensitive stomach,
And some very serious allergies.
which made it nearly impossible for her to eat regular dog treats.
The couple tried everything with no success.
So they made their own treats that were free of soy, corn, and dairy.
Samantha was happy.
Then they had an idea. Why not produce and market their own line of pet treats?
And Cloudstar was born.
It began with Buddy Biscuits, all natural biscuits that you could bake at home. They targeted local animal shelters and pet supply stores.
Customer response was overwhelming. You know what, Bob? They ate it up.
Then Cloudstar went national with targeted mailings to pet supply stores, health food stores, even gift stores.
Within 2 years, sales were $1.5 million.
Today, Cloudstar offers everything from dog shampoos and conditioners to apparel for humans and canines.
Sales last year, $5 million.
Cloudstar exemplifies an axiom on our website, thinkofthat.net. Think niche within a niche.
Every business has areas where needs aren't adequately met.
Healthy dog treats for picky pets.
Now, why didn't I think of that? Visit us at thinkofthat.net.
Less hype, just quality news, sports, and smart talk. From your friends at 1580 KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. Before I jump into this segment, I actually want to make people aware of something. I got an email from my friends over at Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services. They have a foreclosure prevention class coming up. So if you're behind in your mortgage, if you're not able to make your payments, I want you to know that there is some help available. Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services is a nonprofit organization, and they are putting on a free, safe, confidential foreclosure prevention workshop for homeowners in Lynn and Benton counties. Again, this is a free workshop to learn about the options and the resources to help you through that very challenging situation. You do have to register. You can do so by going to www.w-nhs.org, or you can call them at 541-752-7220, extension 300. The class is going to be held, the seminar is going to be held on Tuesday, 29 January. It's going to be held at the Albany Public Library. It is a free class. It runs from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So contact or email, if you like, info@w-nhs.org if you would like more information about that. Again, great program, and I cannot more strongly encourage you to take advantage of the resources that they have there if you need them. But again, welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I am Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity, and Real Estate Talk is your only resource on local radio for real estate information right here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. We're always here on Saturday mornings for you. We spend a couple of Thursdays a month in the Valley Talk time slot, but you know, if you've missed a show, we're starting to post them on YouTube now. Dave Adams, our operations guy, is posting them on YouTube for me, and it's a great resource if you've missed any shows. We've been on the air since January 2007, so that means 6 years, really, this month. So there's lots of good information, lots of really good backup real estate statistics for you as well. Today, all about listener questions, and it's one of my favorite things to do is to do the listener questions. And by the way, last week I posted a survey question on the Facebook page asking what you as listeners want to see more of, and one of the things that came up was more listener questions. So your input is appreciated, as are your questions. My first question comes from A in Lebanon. Dave, we're getting ready to put our home on the market, so we went ahead and actually had an appraisal done. The appraisal came in at $155,000. We're thinking we'd like to put the house on the market for $165,000, maybe even $170,000, since you've said on the show that the Lebanon market doesn't have a lot of inventory right now. What do you think? Well, A, first of all, I really think getting an appraisal up front, interesting thing to do. Not a lot of people are investing the money to do that, and I think that actually could make sense, but the question is, how are you going to use those numbers? The other thing that it makes me think, is maybe I haven't been clear enough when I'm talking about the statistics that I give every week and how you can best use them. And I'm afraid maybe there's a little misinterpretation. So let me come at this from a slightly different direction. We're talking about a strategy for pricing your home, and your price is the number one single most important marketing tool that you have in getting your house sold. And I want to emphasize the term marketing tool. Take the equity calculations, the how much money do I need to do what I want to do next, out of contention here. Focus on the list price solely as a marketing tool. So would you agree with me if I said that buyers in any housing market look within the price range that they're planning to buy in? Certainly they may look a little bit above or a little bit below, but generally they are focused in on their specific price range. If you're a $150,000 buyer, you're not looking at $300,000 houses. You're probably capping your search just a couple of percentage points, then maybe the next window up from where you're actually looking. Everybody believes in this market there's room to negotiate, which is why they look a little bit above, and we'll get to that later. But generally, they're looking in their price range. Would you also agree with me that most buyers are searching for their homes online? So I'm assuming, that you are nodding your head. Since this is radio, I can't see you, can't see me. But if you agree with those two statements, then you have to further agree that your price needs to be in the range where your buyer is online looking. And it has to be within the parameters of the online search engines where they're looking. So what do I mean by that? If you go to Realtor.com or Trulio or even my foundation team website, and you put in a price, you're going to use a pull-down menu. Okay, firm options. You're not always going to be just typing in a number. You're pulling down a menu. In some cases, the menus give you choices that are $50,000 increments or $25,000 increments, but there are windows that you have to adjust to as part of your strategy. The second component of this has to do with the first price reduction. If you know that you are initially overpricing your home, and any realtor worth their commission is going to maybe get you to agree to a price reduction at some point, I would personally ask you to agree to it up front in that listing agreement, and that we would do a price change after a fixed period of time if we didn't have a fixed number of showings. Showings indicate you're in the right price point. If you get lots of people coming to look at the house, that means you're in the ballpark, basically. You're in the market. If they're coming to look and not making offers, you need to adjust the price. But if they're not coming at all, that is all about price. I tell you, it is all about price. In other words, I'm going to schedule that price change right up front with you. But that adjustment has to get you into the new category, right? So if every buyer looking up to 175 has rejected your listing, your adjustment has to put you in front of new buyers, and that threshold may be, in some of the search engines, 150. Now, I'm not saying your price range has to be $20,000, but purely in terms of marketing, that's what I'm trying to get across here. Purely in terms of marketing, it is something that you have to pay attention to. The general rule of thumb with pricing as a marketing tool is that if you get the price wrong, the buyers who are looking for your home won't see it. And the buyers who are looking in that price range won't want it. That means that the days on market continue to add up and your negotiating leverage continues to go down. One other phrase that I've heard, and this comes from an agent in my office who said this the other day. We were talking about the price of a listing on tour. He said, you have to fish in the pond where the fish are. What he was referring to was a price threshold within that specific neighborhood where above this one particular price point in that neighborhood, there was 12 months of inventory. But below that price point, it was closer to 3.5 months of inventory. So that price threshold had a real impact on the number of buyers that were looking. So that range is where the buyers are buying, and that's where, as a fisherman, you should be dropping your hook. So here's my rule of thumb for you. In pricing your home to take the most advantage of the market and get your home sold in the most effective time frame, You have to lead the market and not follow the market. If you know what direction the market is heading, you have to price your home within a couple of percentage points. And right now we're running between 96 and 98% list price to sale price. Okay. So you have to price your home within a couple of percentage points in the appropriate direction. So in an appreciating market like we had back in the early 2000s, sellers very often made a little bit of money by pricing their home ahead of the market's rise. If your agent said your home will very likely sell based on the comparable sales for $200,000, you might price your house at $205,000 because the market was going up and people were looking in that direction because everybody said, well, the market's going to keep going up. Similarly, from 2007 to 2012, the market was trending downward. So the seller who was told by their agent $200,000 was the right price point, and they priced it at $205,000, they were behind the market, vice leading it. Now, they would eventually follow the market down, many of those the sellers, and they would drop their price to $199, and then $195, and then $190. And if the market was continuing trending down, if they were behind that curve, they were losing money every day. It would have been better for them to initially have priced it at $198 or $199 to capture the buyers that were looking. So what does that mean today? Well, our market is relatively flat today. As I've said before, we are in a period of low inventory, but prices are not really reflecting the market dynamics for a very wide variety of reasons, many of which we've talked about before, and I don't really want to rehash them all right now. And I'm just going to ask you, for the sake of this conversation, to press the I believe button here for a minute. If the market is flat in terms of pricing, as it is today, then you have to price your house right on the day that you list it. You have to get the price right to get it in front of the buyers who are looking for it. One final point here. You said, and this was really interesting to me, as I said, that you had an appraisal done and not just a market analysis by a realtor. So you invested some money in this, probably $400 or $500. So just for a minute, I would ask you to consider why you would take that information and consider pricing the home for more than you have now been told it is even possible for you to sell it for. In other words, if you want to price your house $15,000 more than the appraised value, there's a certain, maybe a misunderstanding of what the appraisal tells you. The appraisal is done based on sold comparables. The typical use for an appraisal by a lender is so they don't lend too much money for the buyers to buy that house. So the appraised value essentially represents the absolute top end of what you could even hope to get from any buyer who was going to be financing the home. Okay? So it's the top number. It's not necessarily the marketing number, because appraisals don't have quite the same focus and use active listings the way a market analysis does. Because remember, your price is a marketing tool, so I, as a realtor, am using the active market and pricing you, helping you price your home against the competition, as well as looking at the sold comparables to get an idea about where the real competition is that buyers are buying. Banks are going to require an appraisal. The appraisal is going to represent the most that they would lend. So if you have an appraisal in hand, then that's the top dollar. You're never going to get $20,000 more, and I don't understand why you would want to take that $500 that you spent on the appraisal and not use it. So there's my 2 cents on the matter, and I hope that answers the question for you. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have some other listener questions. Again, we're going to be talking about buy, fix, rent, or rent and flip, and some different financial strategies there. We're going to be talking about rent to own and lease options. So stay with us. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
You see the ads on TV and in the newspaper all the time. Fly-by-night operations offering to buy your unwanted jewelry, scrap jewelry, and collectible coins. Just mail it in some special envelope or meet a traveling buyer in a motel room. There's no reason to deal with these kinds of businesses when there's a reliable, reputable jewelry buyer right here in the Valley. Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry. Bring your unwanted jewelry, including scraps and coins, to Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry. Unlike the traveling motel room buyers who weigh it by the pound, Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry takes the time to individually assess each piece, which is to your advantage. One recent customer was offered just over $300 by the traveling buyers, so she took her stuff to Mid-Valley and received $1,100. Whether you're looking to buy or if you have jewelry, scrap, or coins that you'd like to sell, there's only one place to go. Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry on Pacific in Albany, just down from Wendy's.
Our customers tell us that shopping at St. Vincent de Paul is an adventure. It's like going on a treasure hunt, and finding treasures at bargain prices make it even more fun. What's more, the money you spend at St. Vincent de Paul helps your neighbors right here in Lynn County. So have some fun, save some money, and do something nice for your neighbors. Shop St. Vincent de Paul, or you're likely to find the treasure you're looking for. We're St. Vincent de Paul, and we're located at 2220 Southeast Pacific Boulevard in Albany, right next to Big 5 Sporting Goods.
There's a new way to save on next year's straw harvest, and you'll find it now at Lynn Benton Tractor. It's called the Big Pack 1290, and it's Krohn's latest large square baler with a high-density press that increases the weight of each bale by 25%. That means fewer bales per acre, faster baling, and lower production and storage costs. For bales like bricks, see the Big Pack 1290 HDP by Krohn, now at Lynn Benton Tractor.
Lynn Benton Tractor. We're still doing business the American way.
It's that time of year again for special events and celebrations. And now Spring Hill Country Club has a brand new catering division offering off-site catering services. Catering anything from your private parties, weddings, tailgate parties, and football games, and more. With wedding cakes and pastries made by the award-winning chocolatier and baker, head chef Shane Tracy. Spring Hill Country Club has just completed the construction of a beautiful, dreamy outdoor wedding area. And they're booking 2013 outdoor weddings now. Spring Hill Country Club Formal Dining, banquet facilities, boardroom, seasonal Olympic swimming pool, retail golf shop, and now catering your holiday or special event. The first Friday of every month at Spring Hill Country Club is a different flavored dining event. Events are open to the public. Call 541-926-6059, extension 300. So make reservations now. Log on to springhillcc.com or call 541-926-6059. When you're at Spring Hill Country Club, they treat you like a member, but you don't have to be a member to be there. It's where you belong. Clarity over agreement. Expected from Dennis Prager, weekday mornings at 9 on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We're doing listener questions today. And my next question comes from R in Albany. R writes, Dave, I'm considering some real estate investing, and I want to know which is a better strategy, renting or flipping. Well, that really depends on your financial goals as well as your financial capability are. In order to flip houses, you need a couple of things on your side of the equation, if you will. First of all, you need capital. It's really difficult to flip homes when you are borrowing the purchase money. It isn't really something you can do effectively with a 3% down payment. The majority of those people who are successful in flipping are cash buyers. They have cash available for the purchase, and they have sufficient assets, on whether that's cash or credit, to do the renovation. Secondly, you have to have the resources to do the renovation. When it comes to flipping a house, time is money. So if you've paid cash for the property, and you're probably going to hire contractors to do the work because you want to get it done quickly. If you can do it yourself, assuming that you have the skills, the question is, if time is money, do you have the time? So it's a difficult trade-off that you've got to balance and figure out, again, based on what your needs are. In my mind, you really need a contractor, a professional contractor to work with, or if you have the skills to do a quality job and you're going to be focusing on doing the renovation. But again, if you're doing it by yourself, for yourself, your time frame might be 90 to 180 days for you to do the renovation, and that's a long time to tie up your money, and it's a long time to be making payments if you financed it. So in either case, again, you need the financial resources to get the supplies and or hire the professionals where you may have to. Flipping homes is made even more difficult in that in our market today, it's getting harder and harder to find properties that have sufficient margin in them to flip at a reasonable profit. In a lot of cases, maybe you're flipping it just paying yourself off, and there's a lot of break-evens going on in the flipping market. It's hard to find the deals that have that kind of margin, partly because there's not as many out there, with foreclosures having slowed down at the moment, as well as there's a lot of competition out there by other people who are professionally flipping homes. And there are probably 3 or 4, I would say, institutionalized flippers right here in the Mid-Valley right now. So difficult to do. So let's shift our attention for a second to that buy and hold strategy, the rental, owning the rental. And I really like this strategy for investors for a large number of reasons, because it's available, first of all, to a broader spectrum of people who want to invest in real estate. You can make financing work for an investment purchase. You have to go a conventional loan. Typically, that's going to require 25% down payment. The plus side of that is it's increasing your equity position and reducing your loan amount a little bit more, which gives you the potential to generate some better cash flows. Secondly, time is your friend in a rental. If you've done it correctly, you are making cash flow from the time that you put it on the rental market and get it rented. So having it rented for a long period of time, that's positive cash flow back to you. The second is time is a luxury when it comes to deciding when to cash that investment in and sell it. And you have the luxury of time with a rental. So you can time the market. It's the one investment where you can really do that in real estate. So assuming you choose well, and again, you're in a market, you've got it rented, you keep it rented, that luxury of time, you can calculate the cash flows, you can calculate return on investment. It's a numbers game, and the math is ultimately pretty darn easy to do. With rental purchases, you may still have to make some capital investments in renovations and updates to make it market ready for renting. And you do have to calculate in maintenance costs as well. But in our market, there are some pretty good values out there that with a little bit of work, you could turn into a fairly successful rental. By the way, some investors do actually pay cash for rentals as well. There's a third model. And it's kind of a hybrid of the first two rental models that I want to talk about. And I have actually, yesterday, I was out with 2 clients. Both of them were looking at homes with which they could pursue an option kind of like this. And this strategy is to buy a home to live in a bargain price range. Now, mostly they were looking for turnkey or with just a moderate amount of fixing up, nothing structural, nothing major, but mostly cosmetic fixing up. And that fixing up often gave them an opportunity to get a good deal. But they were buying it as an owner-occupied property to actually live in. And then after at least 2 years, when you're talking about capital gains, folks, at least 2 years, turning it into a rental or investment property down the road. So it's a great way to build a rental portfolio of 2 or 3 or 4 rentals. You kind of hop from house to house, and you do these renovation projects as you're going, and then you put them into your rental inventory. And then you're generating passive income from them every month. The beauty of that is, again, you can finance it as an owner-occupied property because you are occupying it when you move in, so you can do conventional loan with as little as 5% down rather than that 25% that you would need for an investment property. You have the time to do the updates or upgrades while you live there. And you have to be careful not to make it too specific or too quirky just for you. You have to do kind of the nice things to put it into the rental market. You know, you're not going to do major remodels. You're going to make it functional and clean and put in the stuff that wears well that you're going to use down the road. At that rate, you can, over the course of, say, 8 years, potentially put 4 homes into your rental portfolio. And if you get to the point where you're generating maybe $300 or $400 a month positive cash flow on those rentals, multiply that by 4, that's $1,200 a month. That's a pretty good deal. Now, the danger with this strategy comes with mismanaging your equity. And that's where a lot of people got in trouble in the past. And what they did was they were using this strategy, but they would pull equity out of investment house A and put it and use that as the down payment for investment property B. And then as a result, if they didn't manage that very well, if there's a sea change in the market as there was, and the market went down, their valuations went down, and now they're upside down on the house and can't sell it. And if they went a couple of months without a renter in there, maybe their cash flows had been affected and they couldn't afford to make it. They end up in foreclosure. It's an investment property, so there are tax consequences. So go slow. Play smart. Owning rentals can be a very good wealth building opportunity, especially in our market today. Okay? But so for me, depending on what your resources are, depending on what your assets are, depending on what your skills are, and depending on what your time frames are, you can look at both the flipping and the long-term buy and hold as investment strategies for the majority of real estate investors today. Those people who are considering maybe using their IRA to buy some properties, self-directed IRA, and we've talked about that before. Probably the buy and hold is the smarter strategy for long-term wealth building. But again, look at your own individual needs, and if you need some help, give me a call or contact me directly here at Real Estate Talk, and we'll schedule a time to sit down. But I want to use that last point about in the market today to lead into my next question. And you know what? Let's take a break, and then we'll get back on this. This question has to do with, is now a good time to buy? So you're listening to Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Place to bowl is Lynn Lane's Bowling Center on South Main Road in Lebanon. And the people are real nice. And the Head Pin Restaurant, I'd go there even if the bowling alley wasn't attached.
Stop by Lynn Lane's in Lebanon. Good family fun. Bowling. Lynn Lane's on South Main in Lebanon.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday night. Online at lynnlanes.com. It's affordable and it's fun. Go bowling at Lynn Lane's in Lebanon tonight.
There are a lot of things we need to talk about in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Hi, I'm Dave Adams, KGAL Radio. We want to have those conversations on this radio station live. That's what we do every Monday through Friday from 11 to noon. Maybe it's taxes, roads, government, city councils, school boards, whatever. I also want to know what you want to talk about. Email me, dave@kgal.com, and join the conversation. Valley Talk, 11 a.m., Monday through Friday. News Talk, 1580 KGAL.
I remember the moment. I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
That moment, we arrived in the scene.
The storm had nearly destroyed the area.
This was our own community. Friends, family, people we grew up with, went to school with. We were there to help.
Several of us were working to rescue a family.
They made it down to the storm cellar, but the house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had chainsaws going, and we had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out.
We helped a lot of people out.
It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Right here, close to home, in my state.
It was one of those life-changing moments where I realized I am making a difference in these people's lives and mine. I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
You can serve part-time and be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon National Guard. Aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Geico says, let's make life simpler.
You need to buy something, but you don't want to make a mistake. So what do? Scour the web? Collect sales circulars? Ask your brother-in-law? How about this? When it comes to car insurance, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. I repeat, 97%. So make it simple. Just ask a friend who has Geico. Then click or call. You could make it 98%.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Home Depot Project Loan is a simple way to put big projects within reach. You not only get no payments and no interest for 6 months, you also get the flexibility of paying it off anytime. So whether it's new flooring or a whole new kitchen, the Project Loan makes it easy, and we make it possible. Get started now. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only, subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Want to really know more? Just point, click, and learn from the Mid-Valley's best website, KGAL.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. We're doing listener questions today. And this next question comes from L in Albany. L writes, I'm sorry, L's in Jefferson. She asked whether or not the opportunity to buy a home has passed now that inventory is so low and it seems to be a seller's market. Seems like all the good deals are gone. Well, L, we certainly are in a period of low inventory, and well-priced, well-conditioned homes are not staying long on the market. But if you have relatively simple wants and needs, there's still lots of opportunities out there. So when I answer the question, is now a good time to buy? I answer it two different ways. One, in terms of the market conditions, if you are well-qualified, well-financed, and ready to purchase, and you are not looking for something incredibly unique that's hard to find, and I've got some clients that are looking for some unique properties, so I can speak from experience, it's actually it's still a very, very good time. Interest rates are still low. Prices are still at or near the bottoms. It's a very appealing market. But the question is not whether now is the right time to buy for everyone. The question is whether now is the right time to buy for you. And you have to look at what your financial goals are. You have to look at where you are in terms of your life, your needs, your liquidity, where you're going to go next. You know, is your job secure? There's so many things that you have to take into account. And to do that, I would, again, strongly recommend that you take the Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services class. They can help you get the information to work through a lot of those decisions, and it's a great resource for you. So I encourage you to kind of get more personal on that one rather than a question that I can really answer well on the air. The market itself, it is technically a seller's market by the numbers, but the psychology of the market's a little bit cloudy, so still a lot of good opportunities. My last question comes from B. Can you explain lease options and rent to own? Well, not really my area of expertise, but I'll give it a quick shot. Rent to own deals on homes are typically, not all the time, but usually offered by builders who have standing inventory that they need to generate some cash flows on. In many cases, they're in the position where they're now paying on their construction loans, so they've got monthly outgoes. The house isn't selling for whatever reason, so they want to put renters in there for a limited period of time, and the plan is that the renter will eventually buy that home. Now, maybe they can't buy it today, but they want to buy it. They're going to buy it down the road. Some portion of their monthly rent is set aside into an escrow account to be used and credited to their down purchase for the payment later. Now, the advantages of that are, if you're not in a position to buy today, you don't have the down payment money, or you're not 100% financeable, but you believe you will be, then you get to move in that nice new home. You get most of the advantages of home ownership, and you're moving on the track to home ownership, but you're really only a renter. Secondly, you are typically establishing the purchase price in today's market, which, if the market's going to appreciate, that's a good thing. But rent to own doesn't necessarily have to be a builder. But again, that's the most common scenario. Regardless, it's going to work the same way. You are essentially a renter. You can terminate anytime, and all you forfeit is the money that is being set aside for your down payment. A lease option is very similar to that, but there are some big differences. A lease option is an option, okay, just like in a stock option. It is an option to purchase the property at the end of a given time period. There is option money that is in play. Now, that's a down payment that goes towards your purchase if you exercise the option, but that you forfeit if you terminate. So instead of just being rent that you're adding to every month, some portion of your rent, you're actually putting $5,000 or $10,000 or some amount down. With the rent to own, there's not a large down payment, just the security deposit. I personally think that lease options have a place in commercial real estate, and for business purposes, it often makes very good sense. What I find troubling about lease options in residential real estate, other than the fact that they very seldom ever come to fruition, is that it's generally a way for people who can't qualify for traditional property for traditional financing to try to purchase a property. And they're looking at it as a way to get around the system. So generally, from the seller's perspective, you've got to ask yourself, why in the heck are these people not financing conventionally? Is it because they're more of a risk than I as a seller can tolerate? If Billy Joe can't get a loan through the bank because his credit's terrible, then why would Deborah Joe agree to finance that guy in a lease option? It's crazy. So if you're thinking about lease options as a way to get around conventional financing requirements, that component makes it scary, and that's generally what we see when people want seller carry contracts or they want lease options. It's because they can't do it. I think there's a place for it, mostly in commercial real estate, but even in residential real estate, there's a place for it if it is the smartest financial decision, but it can't be the back trapdoor into real estate purchasing, because otherwise I think you're just setting yourself up for failure. So now, with that said, again, it may make some good business sense, but if you are the seller considering a lease option, you would be very well served to do your due diligence. Run the credit checks. Evaluate this person's financial ability to pay today and to continue paying. It's just smart business sense on your part as a seller, and for you, this is a business transaction. In my experience as a realtor, I have not done a lot of lease options, so again, not my area of expertise, but the general consensus in the real estate community is these are transactions that don't generally close. Because usually 3 years down the road, it doesn't make sense. So think it through, pay attention. From the seller side, really pay attention. From the buyer side, stop and evaluate really where you are financially. And if you're looking to get around the rules, my question is, does that really make sense for you to do that? So that's our listener questions for today. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for today's Real Estate Market Update. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Have you given up trying to lose weight? If it seems like nothing delivers on its promises or works for the long term, look to Family Chiropractic Wellness Center. Family Chiropractic Wellness Center at 541 Park Street in Lebanon can change your mind and change your life. Attend a free workshop and learn about a comprehensive weight management program that has been recommended by over 20,000 doctors since 1980. The program includes the free guidance of a caring health coach, online support, and a network of like-minded individuals. You'll soon be on your way to reaching your goal weight and learning how to maintain it. Call Dr. Ron Clifton's office right now at 541-451-1290 to get started. Reserve your free admission to one of the workshops by visiting Family Chiropractic Wellness Center at 541 Park Street. Just look for the time and temperature sign or call 451-1290. Call now, 451-1290. The Family Chiropractic Wellness Center. Chiropractic, a natural way to grow. Call 541-451-1290.
Anyone who teaches for a living knows we're not in it for the money. But seeing the light in the children's eyes when they grasp a new concept more than makes up for it. That's why it made me sick to find out that my union was jacking up our union dues to pay for their political agenda. And I don't even believe in what they're pushing for. I don't want to pay for union causes I disagree with, but if I want to keep being a teacher, I don't seem to have a choice. Is there anything I can do? This just doesn't seem right.
The U.S. Supreme Court says that you have a constitutional right to reclaim dues spent for union political activities. The National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation can help. To learn about your rights or ask for free legal aid, contact the foundation toll-free at 1-800-336-3600. That's 1-800-336-3600. Or go online to www.nrtw.org. Once again, www.nrtw.org.
It's all happening in downtown Albany.
Where do you go downtown if you want a good cup of coffee, tasty sandwiches, fresh soup and salads, desserts, and of course a good bottle of wine? The Wine Depot at the Two Rivers Market. Catering to large or small companies available too at the Wine Depot, 967-9499.
Your source for premium pet food and supplies is Cool's Feed and Pet Supply. Their stock of wild bird food and feeders as well as premium Douglas fir wood pellets is excellent. Cool's is at 760 Southeast 2nd next to the railroad tracks, where they care for your pets as much as you do.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 926-2858.
It's all happening in downtown Albany.
Valley Talk, weekday mornings on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. It's time for today's Real Estate Market Update. We'll begin in Corvallis, where inventory is down 3 from last week. Today, 111 active listings. The average asking price, $363,587. 110 homes have sold in the past 90 days. That is a drop of 1 from the previous report. Currently, 3.03 months of inventory. The median sold price in Corvallis over the past 90 days is up today, $239,950, averaging $156.05 per square foot. On average, homes are spending 112 days on the market. I encourage you to go to the Facebook page. Again, I posted the stats there, and you'll notice in Corvallis, in the under $150,000 price range, there are 0 months of inventory. There's not a single house listed in that price range on the market right now in Corvallis. In Lebanon, 62 homes are available for sale. That's down 5. The median asking price is also down today at $157,500. Over the past 90 days, 44 homes have sold. That's even with the last report. The median sold price is up today at $124,450. $90.18 per square foot is the average, and homes are spending 177 days on the market from listing to close of sale. And again, this is the houses that sell. There's 4.23 months of inventory available today. Finally, to Albany, where inventory is up from last week, but still way down overall, with 215 active listings. The average asking price in Albany is pretty flat at $192,024, and with 151 homes sold in the past 90 days, that is a move up of 4. The median sale price down just a hair today at $166,900. Homes are spending an average of 138 days on the market from listing to close, and the average dollar per square foot value is down slightly at $104.02. There's 4.27 months of inventory available today. Really quickly, let me touch base on a couple of these statistics for you. When I give you the average days on the market, again, that is for the homes that sold. They were on the market an average of that period of time. So keep in mind there are a lot of homes that are still on the market, and that average is much higher when you look at the market of just the active homes as a whole. That's an average of the sold homes. Dollar per square foot value, as I give you every month or every week, encompasses the entire market, from the foreclosure and short sale properties to the high-end luxury stuff. It is an average number. It is not a decision-making number. You cannot use that very effectively to say, well, if I'm going to buy a house in Albany, it should be $104 a square foot. Not true. It's going to depend on what's in the house, where the house is, the size of the house, the size of the lot. It is just kind of a trending number, not a decision level number for you to use. And also that months of inventory statistic, I talk about that a lot. It's completely a ridiculous calculation to get to it. What it assumes is that every house on the market currently will sell, that no new houses will come on the market, and that the pace of sales will continue at exactly the same rate. So all three of those assumptions are false, but it does give us a good idea of the trending in the market, and it's kind of a snapshot of the condition of the market. 6 months of inventory is a neutral market. More than 6 months is a buyer's market. Less than 6 months is a seller's market. And statistically, in the Mid-Valley, we are in a very strong seller's market by the numbers. So that, my friends, is the real estate market update for this 12th day of January, 2013. If you're thinking about buying a home, again, I recommend Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services. And again, do let me remind you, if you are dealing with a foreclosure issue, if you think that is something that you want to know more about, that it may be something that's coming into your life, Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services putting on a free seminar Tuesday, January 29th. It is going to be at the Albany Public Library from 6:30 to 8. It is free, but you do need to register, and you can do that by going to www.w-nhs.org, by emailing info@w-nhs.org, or by calling them at 541-752-7220, extension 300, and that's during the regular work week. Good seminar if you're facing foreclosure. let's see. If you have a question, send it into the show. That's realestatetalk@kgal.com. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here every Saturday morning talking about real estate, hopefully the issues that are important to you. If we're not capturing the issues that are important to you, tell us what is, and I will make sure we're covering the bases. My name is Dave Pautsch. I am with RE/MAX Integrity, but I am here for you on KGAL K-Show Radio, Lebanon, Albany, and Corvallis, 1580 AM.
Your first choice in local news, sports, and smart talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.